Hey guys, this is an 8-band puzzle ring, and in this video I'll show you how to solve it. So firstly we'll look at the design of the ring. So we've got this X shape that goes across the top of the ring, and that's formed by 2 bands going this way and 2 bands going that way. The other 4 bands actually crisscross underneath those 4 bands. This is what they look like. So you can see there are 2 up there, 2 down there. They are called the outer bands because when you look down at the ring from the top, they are actually facing out from the ring. So there you can see all 8 bands lined up. Okay, so let's take the ring apart and solve it. So there's our messed up puzzle ring. Now what we need to do is start with 4 of the bands. So to work out which 4 we need first, I'm going to pick one. Now what we're looking for is a C-shaped curve in one of the first bands that we need. Now this is obviously not a C-shaped curve, so the 4 bands that we most likely will need will be these 4 that are actually linked off here. So to check this, just take one of those 4 bands, hold it like this so that the face of the band is across here, and you will actually see a C-shaped curve in that band. So now just bring the other 4 bands up. There's another one, and that's a C-shaped curve. There's another one of the bands, so you'll actually have 2 of these C-shaped curves on this side. And 2 of those C-shaped curves on the other side. So when you hold them like this, they look like they form a diamond shape. So here at Puzzle Jewellery, we continue to hold these 4 bands between thumb and index finger, turn them to the side, and then get to work on these other 4 bands. So what we'd like to see are 2 bands with the same design across the face next to each other here, and the same here. Now they might be a little bit muddled. If they are muddled and you have one of each that don't, or 2 different bands that don't match up, then usually to solve that, all you need to do is take a band from one side, bring it up over the ring, check them again, and you should have 2 bands that line up nicely, just like that. And the other 2 should do the same, just like that. Okay, so what we want to do next is take hold of these 2 bands that have this groove across the top. So can you see how the face of this ring is not completely smooth? It has this groove in here, and these 2 bands don't have a groove, they're completely smooth across the top. So we'll take the 2 that have that groove and place them like this. I apologize for the focus on the camera. So you want these two bands to sit on a diagonal line in there inside this diamond shape. Just like that. So that line should be on an angle that goes from the top right hand side of the screen to the bottom left hand side of the screen. Then take the other two bands and place them over the top like that, so that what you see is an X when you look through the diamond. And then when you turn these sideways, they should line up. However, you may end up with this, which is what we don't want. So to fix that, which is the bands not lining up, to fix it, we'll take these two bands closest to the left index finger and bring them up and over the ring, like that. And turn the ring in a clockwise direction and turn it sideways. Look for the two bands that have the groove across the top and turn them so they're sitting diagonally inside there, with the diagonal line following that axis from the top right hand side of the screen to the bottom left. And take the other two, and I actually hold these in place with my pinky and my ring finger. Take the other two bands together, place them over the top into that groove, and you will see the X when you look down through this diamond. So when you turn the ring side on, you should see, well, you shouldn't see a little bit of glue on the bands there, but you should see that these bands line up like this. So what we do next is we let these four bands go and then take the far right band and position it so that it's further into the ring than the other bands, and then start to thread it through. And then bring it down to meet the other four bands, just like that. And now turn your ring clockwise and then take the band on the right hand side, position it so it's sitting further into the ring than the other bands, thread it through and bring it down to meet the other five bands. Turn your ring clockwise, take the band on the right hand side, make sure it's positioned further into the ring than the last band, thread it through. What you might find at this point is that the rings will, or the other bands should I say, are separating down here. That's okay, just hold on to them, let them separate a little. You will need to allow room for this band to slip through. We don't want to force it through, it may bend and we don't want that to happen, so just gently jiggle it through and bring it down to meet the other bands. Now turn the ring clockwise and thread through the last band. So again you'll see that these bands separated a little to allow the final 8th band to be threaded through and and they all came together. And there's your completed 8-band puzzle ring.